I'm Rachael, I'm 31 and I am a body positivity, beauty and women's empowerment influencer. When I was younger, I was kind of known as the bigger girl in my family. I've never really been skinny. I don't know what that experience is like. I always say that I was a size 14 at 14, so I don't know what it's like to be the thin girl, the slim girl. I've always been curvy or bigger. And I've always felt not kind of like the odd one out, but just different. So there were times when I didn't feel great about my body and I used to feel like, well, if I look like her, I might be more attractive and more appealing. But then as I got older, I just kind of got over it. And, you know, now moving into my 30s, my body's changing. It's like a grown woman's body, essentially. So I feel a bit more comfortable in my evolution into womanhood and how I see myself. In the world of being an influencer, there's so many opportunities that are thrown at you. I've had companies like offer me a facelift, offer me liposuction, offer me fillers for free or exchange for content. And it makes me feel like, what are you seeing when you look at my images or my videos that you feel that I need to get something fixed or changed? So there's days where I have my ups and downs, but it's essentially how I feel about myself. And there's days where I do feel like, oh my gosh, if I just got this done or if I just had this done, I might feel better. But a lot of them are temporary feelings because I've learned how to deal with them. And one thing that I've always said to a lot of people is you have to unlearn who taught you that there was something wrong with you, because a lot of us are being thrown images at us and we've internalized it and we feel, okay, that is who I'm supposed to be essentially. For me, I've always said your self-love journey is a constant journey. You don't wake up one day and you feel beautiful and that just continues. It's a constant thing. You have to learn your triggers. You have to learn how to deal with the days that you don't feel great about yourself. I think in today's age, a lot of the pressures that there are for young women, especially, to conform to the standard or the beauty standards are quite intense. I've always said I don't know how I would feel currently at 14 being on social media or seeing all these images of celebrities. When I was younger, there was magazines and you could kind of just put a magazine under your bed and you wouldn't have to look at it again. But with social media, I feel like it's constantly on, you can't turn it off. When you are scrolling or you're looking at images, it does make you think, well, if she looks like that and she's getting all these likes, then I essentially have to look like that to get the same attention. And I do find it very problematic because people are not checking in with themselves. They're not realizing that that is a platform or a space that's been manipulated to make you feel that way. A lot of times I see images of young girls doing things that are not, for me, comfortable at that age. And I do worry about them because you've got peer pressure at school and then to come home and you've still got the peer pressure in your phone. So I don't think a lot of people are realizing what the younger generation are going through mentally, but also physically, and how they see themselves when they look in the mirror or how they see themselves in images and they instantly want to Photoshop it or edit it. So I feel in 30, 40 years, they're not going to have images that are a true representation of who they were at 14 and 15 because they're all going to be edited, face-tuned and Photoshopped. I think it's vital that we do more to reduce this pressure, because if we don't, it's going to get worse. And I feel also as older people, we are responsible for the younger generation. They are emulating what we have taught them and we're setting the path and the way for them. And if we don't take responsibility to reduce this or don't realize the impact that we essentially are doing, we have no one else to blame when the problems happen. We have nobody else to say is responsible for it other than ourselves. One thing that I live by and I stand by is I only follow under 100 accounts on social media so that I am in control of what I see. And I encourage everybody to be more mindful of the accounts they follow, and also don't feel guilty or bad for unfollowing accounts. I feel a lot of people feel guilty if they unfollow people. It's not real life, it's not personal. You have to look after yourself and look at it as, this is my daily sift or whatever you want to look at and say, okay, this account doesn't fill me no more, it doesn't feed me what I need, and I'm going to unfollow and feel okay with it. It's not that serious, it's only social media.